My name's Tracy and I'm a mortician.
And I'm Trish and I'm not.
And welcome back to another episode of
Are You Dying to Know?
Because Trish is dying to know.
I am.
And
Chaz is dying to know. Hi Chaz.
Hi.
Hello everyone, I'm Chaz.
Welcome.
This is Chaz.
Well, just before we get into our guest superstar here, we've got a shout out to do.
Shout out
to
Nathan.
Nathan.
Hi
Hi Nathan.
Thanks for watching, mate.
Thank you. Said we'll get to you. Hi, hope you're well. Hope everybody's well. So, let's get on. I'm excited about this.
Okay, so
Hello.
we've got the lovely Chaz here with us today. And Chaz has been so kind to offer to talk to us a little bit about his background and his culture and some of the traditions around bereavement and dying, and then some personal experiences as well.
Yeah.
And
how different it is from the normal, our Western culture, and you're going to tell us exactly where you're from and what your culture is. So we're very excited to get the questions.
just quietly from the videos you sent through, it looks a lot more fun than what I do in my life.
Yeah.
So, all right, Chaz, where are you from?
Hello everyone, so I'm originally from New Zealand. I come from a place called Hamilton. It's about an hour south of Auckland.
Yeah.
So I'm a New Zealand Māori.
Yep.
And New Zealand what?
Māori, so the
A
New Zealand
Māori.
Māori is an indigenous person to New Zealand.
Right, okay.
I think we've just pronounced it wrong for a long
I was
time.
going to
Oh,
say.
Maori.
Say Maori.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
that sounds
same word.
I was going, that's new. I've never heard that. So it's Maori, I'm say.
Normally it's you, we can't understand.
Yeah, that's usually me that goes, I can't understand what I'm saying. Oh, so, okay. So how do you pronounce it again?
Ma
Ma
or
or
ri.
ri. Maori. Oh, it sounds much better than
Maori.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Welcome.
Thank
awesome.
you. Thanks for
So
having
how
me.
long have you been here for?
We moved over in 2013.
Right, okay, so, well.
A while, yeah.
All right, so tell us a little about where you're from. Like Hamilton is what, city?
Yeah, so Hamilton is a city south of Auckland, Auckland being the largest city in New Zealand. So I grew up in Hamilton, went to school there. However, with my traditions, I'm from the tribe called Tainui and a sub-tribe called Raukawa ki Wharepuhunga, which is 45 minutes south of Hamilton.
I'll have to get you to spell that for me later so I can put it up on screen. Okay.
Yeah.
And so with my tribal affiliations, in regards to what we're talking about, we celebrate life, death in a whole different manner to what I believe a lot of other Western cultures
Yeah.
do.
So let's just launch straight into it.
Yes.
What's the tradition? What's the process of events, say in general?
Okay, in general, without being specific, we stay with the body. So as a person, we stay with the body. First of all, is when you first hear that someone's passed close in your family, you literally drop everything and you go and help that family.
No matter where you are.
No matter where you are, to the best of your ability.
Yep.
Obviously, if you're overseas, it's a little bit different. Or if you're intercity and you're quite away from the body, it's different as well. But if you're in close proximity in that same city, you will go and do your best to be able to help. Now, when you're helping, it could be just trying to help the family in any manner possible. And then from there, once the body goes to the funeral directors as well, it's normally females that go to the funeral directors. They don't the body doesn't go by themselves. Females from the family are with the body at all times. Once you get the funeral directors and they do the embalming and so forth, once the body's brought back, it's brought back to the homestead.
So hang on, everyone's embalmed?
So everybody's embalmed.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, it's optional now. I believe it's optional now, but from what I've done with and I've just got to make it sort of clear as well, is that I'm explaining, and I'm going to talk about my tribe because there's so many different
and
tribes
everybody
in New
does
Zealand.
things a little bit differently.
Yes.
No, we understand that.
Yeah,
That's good to make that clear, though.
But normally everybody's embalmed, like you say.
Yes.
So, and you say the females, the women, they go to the funeral home with the male or the female that's passed away.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Yes.
It's not male and female. Okay, that's.
And what's
good.
their involvement there? Just to be with the
Just
person?
to be with the body as well. They dress the body too. Most of the time, most of the women, for example, in my case as well, my mum and my sisters went along when my dad passed away as well, and so they dress the body.
And I have experience with that. I have helped dress. Normally, with the culture is I'll go in to assist, but half the times that they don't need my help, they'll
Yes.
just go, because there's usually quite a lot of the ladies around doing it, and they've been doing it many times, so, and I find it really lovely, so
Yes.
yeah, it's really nice that they do that.
Do they come in after the embalming? You mentioned to me off camera that you don't leave the deceased person alone as a whole if you can help it. So do the ladies witness the embalming or do
No,
Okay.
they don't
Right.
witness that. So
Okay.
that's the only time.
Yeah.
Other than that, we're always talking to the body as well.
Yeah.
So shoot.
I do what I say. We talk to the
Yeah.
body
Yeah.
all the time. I have a conversation. I don't know if they understand what I'm saying, but I have a conversation.
And that's a thing that I'm used to,
Yeah.
is that we talk to the body like they're actually acknowledging us.
Yeah.
Yes, they're not, but we still speak to the body like they're
Absolutely.
there.
So then if we stop you at that point from your belief system, are they there with you? Are
Yes,
they in the room
spiritually.
with you,
Yes,
hearing
they
you
are.
anyway? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so that happens, and then we're finished at the funeral home. The person's been dressed, and
Yes.
they're in a coffin. I'm
Yes,
assuming.
yes,
Yeah.
they're in a coffin. And then the funeral directors will bring them back to the homestead. And then
Right.
once at the homestead, so
So the house.
yes,
where
to
they-
the house where
Yeah.
they reside or where they live.
Right.
When it comes to religion, we're steeped in our own values and our own value system. So from us being Tainui, we acknowledge all denominations and all religions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, with our main karakia or prayer, comes from our ancestral kings.
Mm-hmm.
So for the Tainui tribe, we have our own kingitanga, or our own king as well, king
Right.
and queens
Yeah.
that have gone
Wow.
before us. And so we have a paimarere, which is our ancestral prayer that we always acknowledge still to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll have that. So when the body is brought back, we actually have a prayer or karakia, and we welcome the body back onto the where that person resided. Once they lay in state, it's normally in their lounge area.
Yeah.
It's an open coffin.
Right.
So we always have an open coffin,
Mhm.
and then with that as well, we have we put photos of the deceased's close relatives around as well, and then we have the majority of the time we have the woman of the wife of, if it's a male, or even if it's a female, the wife or any significant other family female family members will stay with the body, and they'll stay with the body.
Females stay with the body.
Yes, stay with the body as
Okay.
well. Whilst just in the homestead,
Yeah.
once that happens and the body's laying there in state, that's when family and loved ones close by will start coming over to the house.
Right. So what's the idea of taking them back to their home? Has that got something significant spiritually as far as grounding them in the fact that that's where they are from, or anything like that? Or
I
is
can't
it
give you a
just so-
technical answer. That's just what
It's just what
we've
you do.
done. We
Yeah.
just take them home. We take them home.
It's a nice thing to do.
It's lovely. So it's just like taking them back
Yes.
to where they live.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Where
So
they
we-
belong.
Yes,
Yeah.
we take them home. And it's interesting too, if you've got animals, you start to see animals acting in a different manner, that they know something's going on, which
Right.
is, and they even come and acknowledge the body as well.
Yeah.
They will come on and they'll know what's going on,
Okay.
and you can see them. So for us, we're quite steeped, us as Māori people, and as with other ethnic groups sometimes, we hold
Yeah.
on to those traditional spiritual values. That not only is the person lying there in state as well, but they're also with us spiritually,
Yeah.
as well as all those who have gone before us.
Right. Okay.
That's
That's lovely.
Lovely. It is lovely.
And so that goes for one night.
Goes for one night. So on that first night, once they're there as well, we at approximately about 7 o'clock every evening, whilst the body is with us, we have our karakia or prayer, and that's when we go through as well. We do it every morning, every
Is
night.
that singing?
Singing's
Is it where
involved.
you see the ladies doing
Yes.
these things
Yeah.
and these things and
Not so much then.
actions?
It's
Like
primarily
that's the welcome.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So we have a prayer. Once again, all those involved to bless everyone that's there,
Okay.
acknowledge, as I mentioned, we're quite
Yeah.
spiritual people and we like to acknowledge. For us, God is everything. Once the body's laying in state and we've had that karakia or prayer, people will just mix and mingle, and people come, and when they come with a koha or a gift, and that gift is usually kai or food or putia money.
Right.
And so they'll
For the
come
family.
For the family, yeah. And so they come to bring food to feed other people that come along. And then they'll stick around, and people are doing dishes or they're cleaning up. They're just lending a hand
So
wherever it's needed.
It's a huge big family thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And bringing everybody together. It's lovely.
People that are there, so I'm just trying to get it in my head, the body's lying in state in the lounge room. The people that are there are just sitting having their normal conversations like they're at a gathering, as well as going and talking to the person who's deceased and actually focusing on them as well. So it's not all just about sitting there with the deceased. Everyone's mourning like you would expect in a more Western sort of situation.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point. I sort of didn't talk about that. So yes, let's say we've got a body laying in state there. People will come, acknowledge, they'll cry. Yeah. Because it's hard.
It's sad.
But then it's a sad occasion. But then on the flip side, we all share experiences, positive and negative.
Stories.
So you are crying, you are laughing. You are crying, you are laughing. You are crying, you are laughing. And then the body's lying there, and you're just having a laugh, and you're having a conversation like that. It just becomes. It is for us.
Yeah.
It is for us. You're eating, you're having something to eat, and you're joking. Say, "Oh, does Uncle John or does Auntie Mary? Do they want something to eat?" And it becomes quite jovial.
Yeah. Lightens it up.
It does.
That's really good. It's really good actually, because it seems like. Because they're still part of the family, even though obviously they're deceased. They're still. It's just like it's quite nice, isn't it?
Psychologically, it's more normal. It's just more normalising.
It is more.
It's like when we went to the cemetery that day, and that family was having a picnic. They brought a little Weber barbecue, and they had a picnic at the graveside.
Yeah, they were having, and I think they do that quite often. I think they have lunches, and the kids play in the park area and the cemetery, and it's quite amazing. So
it's like a celebration of life,
and that's what we should be doing. And I think that's what we try to do. I think that's what's changing in the Western world is because we're being exposed more and more to different cultures. I think we're not as good as some cultures, but we are slowly.
Yes.
I think. Celebrating life,
normalising death,
not hiding. Because when we were little, we were going, "Oh, you can't go to a funeral. You're too young. You can't see a dead body. You're too young." So you don't get exposed to that, and like you get exposed from a very young age. It's part of your life, and I think that's what we should be doing, and that's why we should be talking about it more. And it's just fascinating. Yeah, it's a lovely culture. I think it's a great culture.
Like we put babies and little kids, and even when I was little as well, we used to climb all over the body. It was just normal.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
I think it's
okay.
great.
So let's go back to what we were saying. So we're in state at the house, and people are coming and going with food and doing jobs and helping out. So that's one night. And I've heard before there's a period of 3 nights that people have to be at home. Is that just different tribes, different groups of people do it differently?
Yes.
Okay, so yours does one night. So
we do one night, and then the next morning, like I said, we wake up in the morning, approximately 7 o'clock.
So everyone goes to bed as normal in the house?
Absolutely. Yep. Most people don't go to sleep because you're laughing, you're catching up with lousy cousins, because it's sad but nice, because you're starting to see family that you haven't seen for years, and it's not because of bereavement that's brought the family together.
Yeah.
So you very rarely sleep. For the 3 to 4 days that you're together, everyone's always doing chores, catching up with cousins, relatives, nieces, aunties, uncles, and so forth. So everyone does get a couple of hours sleep, and the next day we get up. We always acknowledge, once again, we have another karakia or a prayer. Right. Then we get ready to pack the body up and leave to go to the marae.
Right, okay. So then
when I say pack the body up, I shouldn't say it like that, but for me, that's literally what we're doing. We're just packing the body up and we're going.
We're moving shops somewhere else.
You're going to what do you call that, the marae?
So the marae, or our village, where our family, our sub-tribe have identified as their homestead.
Right.
So as a family, I come from a place called Raukawa ki Wharepuhunga, and our marae is called Rāwhitiro. And on Rāwhitiro, it all stems from... the names of the places are from all of our forefathers, and then the houses, if you want to call it, on the marae are named after significant people from our tribe as well. And so we go to our marae.
The funeral directors have picked the body up and they transport the person?
Not always.
Oh, okay.
Not always.
Okay.
Sometimes. For myself, we took the front seat of my dad's truck out, and I laid my dad in state in his vehicle, and we drove Dad up. That's something different. But sometimes you can use funeral directors. Sometimes we, with my mother-in-law as well, we put her in the back of my father-in-law's van, and we drove her to the marae. So it is sort of normal for us to use whatever we have to take them to the marae or to the village.
Right. Because you don't have to use funeral directors all the time. You do not. Anybody can do their own funeral.
Can we do it here?
You can do your own
I
funeral.
thought it was illegal to transport a body around without the paperwork and all that.
You have to have paperwork, but you
Okay.
can transport a body if
Can
it
you?
belongs to you. Yeah, as long as you've got
Interesting.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't
Yep.
need a funeral director.
So
But
then
please
we,
use us.
Should be out of a job.
so once we arrived to the marae, those traditions start to come back. We've been
Yeah.
brought up. So